We are from Group 3 and we are going to discussion about Unit 3. Before we start, I will introduce member our group. The first, Rayhana Faras Amanu with NIM 2020-8192. Sri Wulan Guritno with NIM 2020-8195. Zalfa Ardanti Fatika Sari with NIM 2020-8196. And Saskia Asahara Agiona Kaliasta 2020-8197. Dilemma Harless Angel. This is a year that we have ever thought of with the emergency of the coronavirus, which originated in Wuhan, China. All countries around the world are experiencing difficulty with the emergency of the new virus. Some countries have been locked down before the emergency of the virus in their countries. In early March, the President Indonesia said two people had been detected positive for COVID-19, namely a mother and her child. Due to this emergency, the government immediately made several efforts to reduce the spread of the virus, which is where the virus spread very easily because it can move to droplets from the infected body. That's why the government has started to impose lockdown called PSBB, which requires us to stay at home and keep our distance. With the enactment of the PSBB, many large companies enforce work from home to minimize crowd and maintaining distance. With a few months, the enforcement went smoothly. However, the Indonesian economy has begun to see a decline due to COVID-19, which results in large companies, MESA, and small companies experiencing difficulty with their finance.
I'm Saskia Azahara Giona Kaliasta. I will continue the discussion. Unit 3. Various efforts have been made by the President and several ministers, especially the Minister of Finance, to prevent an economic downturn. In view of this, the government has taken quick steps by preparing 5 steps so that the national economy will return to a positive like. First, doing massive spending to reduce economic contraction due to COVID-19 pandemic. This step was chosen because during the crisis due to COVID-19 pandemic, government spending was recognized as an instrument to leverage economic recovery. In addition, the private sector and MSME must be restored with a stimulus. Second, the government formed the Committee for Handling COVID-19 and National Economy Recovery. In this committee, Erlangga Hartarto acted as the leader and Erick Thohir as the chief executive. The committee will ensure that the management of health and economy runs in synergy and maintains economic growth in the third quarter of 2020. Third, the government provides low interest credit assistance and prepare various programs so that MSME can revive. One of them is the restructuring policy and credit interest subsidy. Fourth, the government placed funds in banks to turn the wheels of the economy. Fifth, the government guarantees working capital loans for corporations. With these 5 steps, the government emphasizes that the words of the few observers who say that Indonesian economic growth will worsen is only negative assumption.
I'm Zalfa Ardanti Fatika Sari and I will continue the discussion about Unit 3. However, this effort couldn't stop the company's movement in reducing the number of their employees, which is commonly referred to as layoff. Some companies that are unable to return to receive benefit as they used to try to reduce expenses in this way. Within a few months, the employment rate has increased with layoff at several companies, and the government hasn't stayed silent in responding to this condition. They have done several ways. First, pre-employment card. How to get a pre-employment card can be done online on the website www.prakerja.go.in. Participant will receive cash assistance of 3,055,000 rupiahs for training costs and incentive. Second, incentive for victims of layoffs. According to Finance Minister Sri Mulyani Indrawati, the incentive for layoff victims will be through Jam Sostek. Currently, the government is still working on an incentive scheme for workers who are victims of layoffs. It's planned that the workers who are victims of layoff will be given an incentive of 1,000,000 rupiahs to 5,000,000 rupiahs for 3 months. Third, issue bonds. The issuance of debt securities is specially provided for financing to MSME business actors. This industry is one of the sectors most affected by the coronavirus pandemic. This step is to prevent difficulties in return financing needs, especially salaries payment, so that layoff can be prevented. Fourth, incentive for medical workers. The government will provide insurance as well as incentive for medical personnel who treat coronavirus patients. The amount incentive provided includes 50,000,000 rupiahs for specialist doctors, 10,000,000 rupiahs for general practitioner and dentists, 70,500,000 rupiahs for nurses, and 5,000,000 rupiahs for medical personnel. Fifth, THR wages. The rules of payment of holiday allowances have been regulated in PP number 78 of 2015. Concerning wages, the government continues to devise a stimulus scheme that can be given to employers in order to maintain their ability to pay obligation to employees, one of which is tax relief.
I'm Sri Wulan Guritno. I will continue the discussion about Unit 3. 5 programs carried out by the government in maintaining companies and MSMEs during this pandemic. First, social assistance, Bansos, which contains the Family Hubs Program PKH, Food Package, Cash Assistance, Village BLT, exemption or reduction of electricity rates and pre-employment cards. Second, tax incentives for general. This program reduced and final PPH rate for MSMEs from 0.5% to 0% over a 6-month period. Third, relaxation and restructuring of MSME loans with various program schemes. Fourth, expansion of financing for MSMEs in the form of working capital assistance stimulus. Fifth, ministries, institutions, state-owned enterprises, and local governments become buffers in the MSME business ecosystem, especially in the early stage of business consolidation recovery. That's from us. Thank you.